legal issues, keeping the KYL students updated on legal developments and encouraging their interdisciplinary perspectives. From politics to sports, corporate culture to advocacy, NYAYA VICHARA lectures will ensure that stalwarts of diverse fields continue to address and inspire us all. No beginning can be a success without the blessings of the Almighty. So let us rise together and pray to God.
You are my refuge. You are my fortress. You are my friend in need. You are my Lord. I will worship you with all of my heart. I will seek your face all through my life. I will serve you, Lord, with all that I am. Here I am.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. Let us begin this auspicious occasion with the ceremonial lighting of the lamp, symbolizing the enlightenment that knowledge brings with itself. I request the dignitaries, Hon'ble Mr. Justice Kurian Joseph, Father Sebi, Father Thomas, Father Davis, Father Anthony, Father Leben, Dr. Sini and Dr. Nandu, conveners Academic Outreach Committee, Dr. Irfan, LLM coordinator and student convener and co-convener to kindly come forward for the ceremony. Thank you very much. I request the dignitaries to please be seated on the dais. And now, to extend a formal welcome, I, with immense enthusiasm, invite the guiding light of all our endeavors at Christ Academy Institute of Law, our beloved principal, Professor Dr. Father Davis Panadan, to please come forward and deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, everyone. Hon'ble Mr. Justice Kurian Joseph, Father Sebi, Manager, Group of Christ Academy, Group of Institutions, and all the fathers and colleagues, my dear students, it is the momentous occasion marking the inauguration of our public law lecture series, NYAYA VICHARA, and the official launch of our LLM course today. We gather to celebrate the pursuit of knowledge, the advancement of legal scholarship, and the nurturing of future leaders in the field of law. When I coined NYAYA VICHARA, the name for this public law lecture series, I aim to create a platform for engaging discussions, debates, and reflection on the most pressing issues of our time. We hope to inspire our students, faculty, and the wider community to think critically about the law and its impact on our lives. We need to have a vichara on our society that should lead to Nyaya Shraddha. Here is the man who has Nyaya Vichara and of course Nyaya Shraddha for our community today. We need to have Nyaya Vichara and Nyaya Shraddha on our society, we to be ever relevant in this changing world. Our LLM course, which are launching today officially, is designed to provide advanced training in legal research, analysis, and application. We are confident that this program will equip our students with the knowledge, skills, and values necessary to excel in their careers and make a positive difference in the world. As we embark on this exciting journey, we are honored to have with us today a distinguished jurist and a champion of constitutional values, Hon'ble Mr. Justice Kurian Joseph. His presence here is a testament to his commitment to fostering a deeper understanding of the law and its role in shaping our society. Justice Kurian Joseph is most apt person to be chief guest of today. Hon'ble Mr. Justice Kurian Joseph is widely regarded as one of the most iconic and respected judges in Indian history. Sir, you resemble Justice Khanna, Justice Bhagavati, Justice Krishnaya, and Justice Chinnappa Reddy, who were the stalwarts of the Supreme Court. He is courageous dissenter, like Justice Khanna in ADM Jabalpur case. His notable dissent was in 2018, when he, along with 3 other senior judges, held a press conference to express their concerns about functioning of the Supreme Court and allocation of case, saying, all is not well in the Supreme Court. The word is very much to be thought of. All is not well in the Supreme Court. He's a courageous dissenter. You are the champion of human rights and individual liberties like Justice Bhagavati. Very religious. At the same time, Justice Kurian is strong advocate of human rights and individual liberties like Justice Bhagavati. He believed, maybe both, believed that the Constitution is a sacred document that protected the rights of citizens, and he worked tirelessly to uphold those rights. Again, you are the man of integrity, objectivity, impartiality, and independence like Justice Chinnappa Reddy, who, in several judgments like Avadabindu Ashram case, he had begun, I am atheist, I am a communist, I am a rationalist. Justice Kurian is known for his integrity and independence. He refused to compromise on his principles, even when he faced with pressure from the government or other powerful interests. He withdrew from a case involving aided schools from Kerala, citing potential conflict of interest due to his personal connections to the state and the religion. You are the promoter of social justice and a progressive interpreter, unwavering, committed, and a refined jurist like Justice Krishnaiah. Justice Kurian Joseph's feat of writing over 1,100 judgments in 5 years is indeed remarkable and a record breaking compared with Justice Krishnaiah. He wrote 1,046 judgments in 6 years, and Justice Bhagavati 1,018 in 7 years. But he could write more than 1,100 in 5 years. And more prominently, your legacy is a testament to the power of integrity, compassion, and commitment to justice, and continues to inspire generation of judges, lawyers, faculty, students, and citizens to uphold constitutional values of justice and fairness. Now it is my great pleasure to welcome Hon'ble Mr. Justice Kurian Joseph to this momentous occasion. I extend a warm welcome to Reverend Father Sebi Palamatet, an encouraging presence of this campus, Father Thomas, efficient administrator, Father Anthony, who toils day and night, Father Lebin, a motivating presence, and Father Joy, encouraging presence, and all the fathers, colleagues, administrative staff, and students, this August gathering. Let me congratulate Academic Outreach Committee for your wonderful excellence and execution in this event, and best wishes for LLM team. Let us work together to create a vibrant community of scholars, practitioners, and leaders who are passionate about the law and its people and its power to shape a more just and fair and equitable society. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Father, for the warm welcome and for acquainting us with a noble personality who refused to compromise with his principles, come what may. This is a quality that every legal professional must imbibe. And it is truly what Father was talking about in terms of not only NYAYA VICHARA, but also NYAYA Shraddha. I now take this opportunity to call on stage the backbone of our institution, Father Sebi Palamatak, Manager, Christ Academy Education Institutions, to deliver the presidential address.
Good morning, everyone. Honorable Justice Mr. Kurian Joseph, respected Principal Dr. Davies, Sini John, respected fathers, faculty members, and my dear students. It's with great joy and gratitude that I stand before you today on this significant occasion, the inauguration of the annual law lecture series, NYAYA VICHARA, and the official launch of the LLM program at Christ Academy Institute of Law. The theme of this series, Constitutional Values in Contemporary Society, is both relevant and essential in today's world. Our Constitution is not just a legal document. It's the soul of democracy, guiding us towards justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. As Dr. B.R. Ambedkar rightly said, Constitution is not a mere lawyer's document. It is a vehicle of life, and its spirit is always the spirit of the age. It's our responsibility as legal professionals and scholars to uphold these values in every aspect of life. We are deeply honored to have Justice Mr. Kurian Joseph with us today. His wisdom and experience have greatly contributed to the legal landscape of our nation. His judgment reflects deep compassion, constitutional morality, and unwavering commitment to justice. His presence is a true inspiration for our students as well as our faculty members. Legal education is not merely about learning laws. It is about understanding justice. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. May this lecture series and our new LLM program ignite a spirit of inquiry and a passion for justice and a commitment to serving society among our students. On behalf of Christ Academy Institute of Law, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Honorable Justice Mr. Kurian Joseph for gracing this occasion. I also appreciate the efforts of our faculty and students in making this event possible. May this initiative mark the beginning of a transformative journey for our institution and all who are part of it. Let us continue to uphold the constitutional values and work towards a just and an equitable society. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Father, for your kind words and for fabulously quoting before us the preamble of the Constitution. Justice, liberty, fraternity, equality, indeed are the most important things in the field of law. And as Father fabulously quoted Mahatma Gandhi, I would put forward another quote from Mr. Gandhi. A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes. Moving forward to introduce our distinguished guest, Honorable Mr. Justice Kurian Joseph, I invite Ms. Anne Mary Joseph, student member, Academic Outreach Committee, to the dais.
I quote, in the words of former Attorney General Shri K.K. Venugopal, if someone is to take a vote on who is the nicest judge, Kurian Joseph will win. Good morning to all the dignitaries on the dais, esteemed faculty, admin staff, and dear students. I, Anne Mary Joseph, and it is my honor to present the profile of our eminent and esteemed guest, Justice Kurian Joseph. Mr. Justice Kurian Joseph is a retired judge of the Supreme Court of India who is known for his humane and compassionate approach to law. He is a gentleman judge, well-liked both by the bar and the bench for his amiable manners and sensitive approach to law. Although his lordship is hailed as a liberal and compassionate judge, his diverse and complex judgments show why judges cannot be easily bracketed as either liberal or conservative. A strong supporter of mediation even on the bench, his lordship was known for urging parties embroiled in litigation pertaining to personal relationships to settle their disputes amicably. He was all heart and soul and took a purely emotional approach to law, a facet that stood him in good stead in grappling with complex family disputes. He spoke up for kids caught in ugly custody battles, tried to nudge warring partners to settle, and lectured prodigal sons to return to aging fathers. dispelling the notion that judges stay in their ivory towers and don't mingle with common man. He did not let the letter of law stand between the man and his quest for justice. Since retirement, his lordship has been focused on using ADR processes such as mediation, arbitration, and conciliation to support parties to find sustainable and long-lasting solutions. His lordship is routinely appointed by the Supreme Court of India and various high courts to act as mediator and arbitrator. He is also on the panel of mediators at Singapore International Mediation Center. His lordship completed LLB at Kerala Law Academy Law College, Trivandrum in 1979 and enrolled as an advocate at the Kerala Bar Council in 1979. He was appointed as the Additional Advocate General of the High Court of Kerala, representing the Government of Kerala. He became a designated Senior Advocate of the High Court of Kerala in the year 1996. He was formally appointed as the Judge of the High Court of Kerala in 2000 and was appointed as the Chief Justice of High Court of Himachal Pradesh in 2010 and was elevated as Judge of the Supreme Court of India in 2013. As Judge of the Supreme Court of India, his lordship was involved in landmark cases like constitutional amendment of National Judicial Appointments Commission and in striking down the practice of triple talaq. His lordship was one of the 10 judges in the history of the Supreme Court of India to have delivered more than 1,000 judgments. While on the bench, his lordship has demonstrated his support for speedy delivery of justice by disposing more than 8,600 cases of the Supreme Court of India. What makes the presence of his lordship in an academic institution like Christ Academy Institute of Law clearly indicates his active involvement in the field of legal education. His lordship is a visitor in the National University of Advanced Legal Studies, Kochi, member of the Academic Council, Kerala, University Senate member of Cochin University, President, Kerala Judicial Academy, and visiting faculty at the National Judicial Academy, Bhopal, and other state judicial academies. The entire Christ Academy fraternity is indeed grateful for your esteemed presence, who is known for the trademark smile on his face even during the many watershed moments for India's judiciary. Standing as a beacon of integrity, compassion, and unwavering dedication to justice, we are truly honored to have such a distinguished personality among us today. And we thank you, Your Lordship, for inspiring us with your remarkable journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. As a token of our appreciation, I request Father Sebi, Father Thomas, and Father Davis to felicitate our esteemed guest. Thank you, dignitaries. This day also marks a significant milestone for our institution, the inauguration of the Master of Laws LLM program, a step towards academic excellence and advanced legal scholarship. It is yet another feather in our cap. And to shed light on the vision and structure of this program, I humbly invite to the dais Dr. Asha P. Soman, Associate Professor, Christ Academy Institute of Law.
Respected dignitaries, Honorable Justice Mr. Kurian Joseph, former Judge, Supreme Court of India, Reverend Father Sebi Palamatat, Manager, Christ Academy Education Institutions, Father Thomas Karanaikal, Administrator, Christ Academy Group of Institutions and Principal, ICSE and CBSE Schools, Professor Dr. Father Davis Panadan, Principal, Christ Academy Institute of Law, Father Anthony Davis, Principal, Christ Academy Institute for Advanced Studies, Father Lebin Davis, Principal, Christ Academy Junior College, Father Joy, Dr. Sini John, Vice Principal, Christ Academy Institute of Law, Dr. Irfan Rasul Nazar, LLM Coordinator and Convener, PG Council, Christ Academy Institute of Law, Dr. Nandu Sam Jose, Convener, Academic Outreach Committee, Christ Academy Institute of Law, distinguished members of the faculty, staff, and my dear students. It is a privilege and a profound honor to welcome all of you to this special occasion of the inauguration of the LLM program in Constitutional Law at Christ Academy Institute of Law. Today marks an important milestone for our institution as we take a significant step in advancing the legal education. Through this initiative, we reaffirm our commitment to academic excellence, intellectual engagement, and passion to justice. The two-year LLM program in Constitutional Law is affiliated to Karnataka State Law University, Hubballi, which is a remarkable achievement for us. It equips scholars with expertise in constitutional principles, governance, and law, empowering them to address contemporary legal challenges and contribute meaningfully to the legal landscape. We take immense pride in being among the 7 institutions in Karnataka entrusted by the KSLU with a postgraduate center, a recognition of our dedication to excellence in legal education. On behalf of Christ Academy Institute of Law, it is my honor to invite Honorable Justice Mr. Kurian Joseph, who has graciously consented to inaugurate this distinguished program. Sir, I humbly request you to officially announce the inauguration of the LLM program in Constitutional Law.
With great privilege, I formally inaugurate two-year LLM program in Constitutional Law at Christ Academy Institute of Law, fostering excellence in legal education and scholarship.
Thank you, sir. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each of you for joining us today. As we begin this academic journey together, let us do so with enthusiasm, dedication, and a shared commitment in excellence. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Sports and academics go hand in hand when shaping individuals into champions through dedication and perseverance. Both qualities are equally vital even in the pursuit of law. We are proud to announce the national level achievements of our students, Mr. Naresh S. and Mr. Kushal P. I request the chief guest for the day to kindly come forward and appreciate their hard work and commitment with a cash award. Please join me in a round of applause as I call upon Mr. Naresh S., 10th semester BA LLB, who achieved a Guinness Book of World Record in Karate group event. Coming up next is Mr. Kushal P., 10th semester, BA LLB. He secured the first position in 3 state-level wrestling competitions. Thank you, dignitaries. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly be seated. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, our Constitution is the lighthouse guiding our democracy, illuminating justice, equality, and liberty. Like roots anchoring a mighty tree, our constitutional values sustain our great nation. Without them, law will crumble into a chaos. And as future lawyers, we must uphold these principles and be the bridge between law and humanity. And who better to enlighten us on this than our esteemed guest? It is with great honor and pride that I invite Honorable Mr. Justice Kurian Joseph to share his wisdom with us. I humbly request the dignitaries to join the audience.
Q&A comes. And this is also cordless, no? Yeah, great. Your friend asked me whether I need a glass of water. I said probably towards the end of the session, you people will require a glass of water. Yes. Dear Reverend Fathers, professors, teachers, my dear students, members of the non-teaching staff, and dear friends, first of all, let me thank you wholeheartedly getting another opportunity to be on this platform in this auditorium. And this auditorium was not there. This was only in the dreams. This institution, I came 2019. And also for this great opportunity, historic, to inaugurate the postgraduate course as well. And also to start with the lecture series on NYAYA VICHARA. And NYAYA Shraddha also, I heard that both. Shraddha, probably in English, I would say it is vigilance. And it is eternal vigilance. And unless there is eternal vigilance, no constitution can guide us or lead us or protect us. Vigilance against non-constitutionalism and passion for constitutionalism. That is Vichara and Shraddha. I would say in the contemporary society, since you have asked me to speak on contemporary society, the Shraddha should come first, vigilance should come first, and then Vichara. The vigilance and the passion. If you ask me, which is the most important constitutional value, or we should be proud of the Indian Constitution, I would say it's just the beginning. Just the initial words. Though we have taken it from the American Constitution, we start with we. They may not have that much inclusivity in their constitution, which is the shortest ever written constitution. And we have taken it to the largest ever written constitution. We meant when we said we. I'm not quite sure whether they meant when they said we. Because it came at the time of a declaration of their independence and their rights. Whereas for us, it's a process which we started and did for so many years, shaped, molded, amended, reshaped, debated. I don't think there is any constitution in the world which has come from the people, which has been made by the people, and which is made for the people. We had a constituent assembly elected on a representative basis and including a few selected people. They debated for years. And finally, they came out with a draft, and the draft constitution was approved on the 26th of November 1949. It was made, and we gave effect to the full constitution, because only the preamble and part of it was given effect to in 1949, November 26th. The full effect was given on 26th of January 1950, declaring India to be a republic of the people, republic of the public. How many among the students can say how many of you have read the mission statement of this great institution which you are students? All of you have read the first line. You will not get it in the Google. Other questions you will get in the Google. This question you may not get in the Google. In the mission statement, it speaks about core constitutional values, guided by the core constitutional values. In fact, I didn't know when I selected this topic of constitutional values in contemporary society, that this institution is one which is dedicated and which has a mission to be guided by the core constitutional values. And my second question, how does that mission end? The last line. To meet the needs of the common people in India. This actually summarizes my whole talk as well on the inclusivity and the purpose of the Constitution. When I say inclusive, you will not find any person in the country, of the country, who is not actually referred to or mentioned or given a place in the Constitution. Which are the fundamental rights available to the non-citizens? So this is not a constitution for the citizens only. This is also a constitution for the non-citizens as well. There are two very important fundamental rights which are available to the non-citizens as well. Equality and right to life. Right. You confirmed it and told me. Very good. Right to equality and right to life. These are two, right to life and Liberty, yes. These two fundamental rights are available to the non-citizens as well. So it includes everybody. It is this inclusiveness or the concept of inclusivity that has become one of the greatest challenges of this country in the contemporary times. That's why I wanted to choose this topic, contemporary India under constitutional values. India, we say, we the people of India, having resolved to constitute India, we the people of India will include every person born in India, of India. We have resolved to constitute. That is not something which happened in 1946. No, it continues. That's why we call constitution is a living. Yes, just fill up that word. It ever grows. It still lives. We have resolved to constitute India. It's nobody else. Nobody did make and give it to us. We have resolved to constitute India. So this is the second aspect I want to stress. I am a constituting factor of India. You, everybody. So without me, if I constitute a club, if I am absent in the club is vacant to that extent. So I am a constituting factor. I constitute India. Without me, India is incomplete. And with me, India is complete. This is the level of spirit of nationalism each one of us should have. I am Indian. I am proud of my country because it's my country. I have constituted this country, and without me, this country is incomplete. This nation is incomplete. It is something to say that spirit of nationalism. There's another thing to say, to be an Indian with a real constitutional ethos, being always in our heart, mind, and conscience. Well, we have constituted India into, if I am the constituting element, without me, India is incomplete. That means nobody can exclude me from India. This is what I should stress, and we should understand. Nobody can exclude me. And nobody has that right to exclude me. Everybody has a duty to include me, include us, include everybody. So this is our country. India is ours. It's our country. It has a space for everybody, and everybody has a voice in the country. It has a space for everybody, and everybody of the country has a voice in the country. For the country as well. So we have resolved to constitute India into a what? How did we want to build this country? How do we want to build this country? How do we want to maintain this country? How do we want to keep this country? India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. 5 pillars. This auditorium has maybe 6-7 pillars. You remove one pillar, what happens? It will sag. And once it sags, ultimately the whole structure goes. It's not the pillar alone that goes. I want you to understand this simple analogy. If I have built something on 5 pillars, and if one pillar is removed, the loss is not to that pillar, to the structure. Because each pillar is important for the structure. Each pillar is inevitable for the structure because each pillar has constituted and built this huge structure. Structure stands on all the pillars with equi strength, equi load. This is something which we should also keep in mind in the contemporary society. We are sovereign, no doubt about it. Prior to 1977, the Constitution did not actually mention about the 5 pillars. Pillars were there. Did not mention about 2 pillars. Those 2 pillars were secularism and socialism. These 2 pillars were not actually mentioned in the preamble. Prior to 1977, the 42nd Amendment. In the 42nd Amendment, you also people can speak. There is your constitutional right to speak, not the left only, right also. Right. So the 42nd Amendment expressly stated that India has 5 pillars. India did not actually felt the need to say that there are 2 more pillars because it's a fact known to everybody, it's a fact experienced by everybody, but still India thought it should be known to everybody. Outside the country also people should know that these are the pillars. We were happily and we were strong in the express 3 pillars, but those 2 other pillars which were never expressly stated in the preamble does not mean that those pillars were not there. Pillars were there, and pillars actually, on the 5 pillars actually, the structure was built. India did not feel the necessity to say so expressly prior to 1977. But having experimented the Constitution for 25 years, we felt better to say, I'm a man. Better to say this nation has 5 pillars. Though 3 pillars were mentioned, all the 5 pillars were expressly mentioned. Does not mean though they were not there. This I'm stating with a little bit of stress because there is an attempt now saying that what came into the Constitution by an amendment can be removed by an amendment to the Constitution in the ordinary way. There are certain amendments, there are certain provisions in the Constitution which are beyond amendment. Like I told you, these 5 structures, structure cannot be removed. If the structure goes, it goes. That's called basic structure. So basic structure is something which is beyond any repair, beyond any reconstruction, beyond any amendment. So Parliament has no power. Otherwise, Parliament has power under Article 368 to amend constitutional provisions, simple majority, ratification process. There are 2-3 processes mentioned in Article 368. But there are something which are basic, which cannot be amended. Nobody can amend because it is built forever. So long as the Constitution is there, these 5 pillars are meant to be there. This is exactly why I told you about this pillar, this column. This cannot be removed. Therefore, these columns which are mentioned, basic structure which are mentioned, the 5 things mentioned cannot be removed otherwise than by ending the Constitution. You cannot amend the Constitution and remove it. You can only end the Constitution and close it. That is precisely what is the basic structure theory. So let us be aware of this aspect, that these 5 constituting columns of the Indian Constitution, core columns, let me take that word, these core columns of the Indian Constitution: sovereignty, socialism, secularism, being republic, democracy. Yes, they are beyond any amendment. So we wanted to constitute. And then the second keyword on the constitutional value, I want you to keep in mind. So we constituted, resolved to constitute. The second word in the preamble comes, and to what? Secure to its citizens. This is where our duty comes. This is where the constitutional institution's duty comes. Because this nation has to secure to me, to you, to us, to the citizens, what? Which is the first one? Is the first one equality? Huh? Justice. You are speaking to a former justice also, sir. Justice. What type of justice? This justice is defined in the Constitution. Defined in the sense, outlined. What type of justice India stands for? Social, economic, political. What is social justice? In Christ Academy, you should be standing up and loudly announcing what is social justice. Of all the law colleges, law institutions I found, this Christ Academy is one which gives a lot of importance, not theoretically, but actually for social justice, of empowerment of the weaker sections, of the inclusivity, of the justice being felt in the society, irrespective of the discriminating factors, giving the sense of fairness, equality, justice, and righteousness. This is another word. Yes, that's social justice. Socialism, in fact, is one of the aspects. What is socialism? What is socialism? The core principle of the quintessence, the essential meaning of socialism. The equitable distribution of wealth. We have a Q&A session. So I'll just continue I'll refrain from questions. I'll come back to questions later. Is a principle, economic principle of equitable distribution of wealth. State and its resources should not be accessible and available only to a few, but to everyone, because it is the state. This is actually the fundamental, the Marxian principle also. Because state belongs to the people. So what belongs to the state? Its resources also belong to the state. Therefore, its accumulation is anti-socialist principle. So, accumulation of wealth resulting in deprivation of entitlement of the poor. This is where social justice should take you to think. I told you about vigilance and two words I have started. No? Passion. Passion to do justice. In your LLM, there's a passion to do justice. So this passion to do justice and passionate in being a just person is very important, particularly when those people who study law. So socialism, social justice. What is economic justice? Again, it is anti-capitalism. Is a mix. Indian economy is economic justice is a mix of socialism, capitalism. Well, there's not a time for those discussions, but there is a core principle that accumulation again of the resources of the country is against economic justice. And political justice. What is political justice? Right to vote. Yes, wonderful. Right to vote. Yes, I become a person. Right? What's the meaning of republic? I asked you. Republic. Let me ask simple questions. Republic. Head of the state? Do you vote for the head of the state? Interaction. How do you elect indirectly? Huh? With the help of representatives, right. So we elect our representatives in the state assemblies and parliament, and they in turn elect. So a country ruled by the chief executive as an elected person from the people. How is Vice President of India elected? What's the mode of election of Vice President of India? Both houses. You're absolutely right. Both houses. They only vote for the election of the Vice President, both houses. Can he be a member of the house? No. They elect a person who is not a member of the house. Right. So, this is Republic, I said about social, economic, political. Political justice. In this political justice, we also speak about the core constitutional value of democracy also. What is democracy? What is democracy? What is democracy? It's not girls' prerogative, must be boys' prerogative also. Huh? What is democracy? How many of you in this hall, and the students who have elected their, who are exercised their right to vote? How many who have not voted so far? Let me put it the other way. Not yet voted. Okay. How many of you did not vote despite there being a vote? Well, it's your fundamental duty to exercise your vote, because you should be happy, you should be privileged in having that satisfaction that I have a right to elect the government which I want and which I deserve both. Right. Coming to this democracy. Democracy is where the people feel that the country belongs to them. I am trying to have new definitions. There are several definitions. Where the citizens feel that the country belongs to them. And the citizens have an assurance that I have a space and I have a voice. These two. The moment you are silenced, you are not in a democratic country. The moment you say you have no space here, you are not in a democratic country. Because this country belongs to us, the people. The people. So the people, everyone, rich or poor, man or woman, or transgender, sick or healthy, east or west, north or south, this caste, that caste, this religion, that religion, irrespective of caste, color, creed, language, gender, place of birth. These are the 6 discriminating factors which kill the country today. So it is in this contemporary society we are thinking about the values, how much valuable are those values? And what are the actual valuables that we think are precious in the eye of common man? Do we as lawmen still think what is really valuable? If you think what is really valuable, what is unique about being a lawyer? Let me ask also. Then only I can come to this value. What is unique about being a lawyer? Very simple question I asked. The simplest question I could have ever asked. You get an authority to speak for somebody else. You get an authority to speak with somebody else. And this is the democratic value which I wanted to stress, to be the voice of the voiceless. You said about protecting the rights and vigilance, not your rights, the rights of others. Your right, you have a sense of consciousness. But there are people who do not know what a right is, and who do not know whether they are entitled to any right at all. In our country, in your Karnataka, I am not speaking about Uganda, I am speaking about Karnataka in the state. There are people who are not able to come to the mainstream in the society. They are in the substreams or in the peripheries. So people from the substreams and peripheries and bringing them to the mainstream is your passion. And this awareness is the vigilance. If you have this vigilance, you will think about them, you will take them, and you will help them. You will not let them live, but you will help them live in a democratic country by taking to the mainstream. Because you are in the mainstream, I am in the mainstream. But there are people, thousands of people in my state who are not able to be in the mainstream. Because this is the value which I am just asking you to be consciously kept in your conscience. Because I am the one who is to be vigilant about the rights of others. This is democracy. This democracy cannot be protected by police, not protected by judiciary alone. Yes, I am the keeper of my brother. This is one of the earliest questions asked. Am I the keeper? Answer is yes, I am the keeper. Which is that fundamental duty which he speaks about it? I can give a clue: to promote the spirit of harmony and common brotherhood among all the people. Right. This is very important. This is value which I want to stress. If you forget everything else when you leave the auditorium also, just keep in mind, promote the spirit of harmony and common brotherhood among all the people, irrespective of all these 6 I told. All the 6 are not mentioned in that fundamental duty. They only said about regional or sectional diversities. But I'm saying, irrespective of caste, color, creed, language, gender, and place of birth, we need to promote the spirit of harmony and common brotherhood. Because we see the curses of India, I would say, in 3C: casteism, communalism, and corruption. But we, the people who are students of law and who become law men, have a fundamental knowledge that everyone is equal and everybody is entitled to equal protection of law. It is the sense of equality. I'm just mixing it up here and there. Equality. I don't stand in a different footing. I am and you are. As it is. In the sense, you are as I am. That is why you have to reread it. Not as I am and to be like me. I and you are not different. So let us not build walls. Let us build doors. And then help people to realize that we should not discriminate people on the basis of caste or color or language or wealth or health or education or position or language. or any ethnic barriers. Everybody is India. Those who believe in God, this is the universal brotherhood God has taught. God the Father and rest are all children. That is very akin to the preamble of the Constitution of India. God the Father and rest are all children. So common brothers. Right. So the economic, social, political, and economic justice, and then liberty. What sort of liberty? Liberty of thought, expression, faith, belief, worship. So this liberty of thought, expression, faith, belief, and worship, this has to be understood when you come to the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights come to Article 17, come to Article, let's directly come to Article 25. What is the caption of Article 25? What's the caption of Article 25? Yes, but I'll tell you the substance. Freedom of conscience and right to religion. So you have a freedom to either to believe or not to believe. That is your choice. You can exercise your freedom. You don't have to be a theist to be in this country. You can be an atheist. You can be a rationalist. But if you believe in a religion, then this country gives you, that is the something about special about secularism of this country. Indian secularism is unique that way. Secularism, what's the real meaning of secularism? The simple meaning of secularism, that a country which does not have an official religion. India does not have an official religion. Indians, majority may belong to one religion. That does not mean that India has no official. India does not have an official religion. But India welcomes all religions. Why? This is something which we should learn, particularly being an educational institution. India welcomes all religions because what is the whole purpose of religion? Let me ask you. What's the whole purpose of religion? And what's the purpose of religion? You all belong to some religion or other, no? Why are you in a religion? What's the purpose of religion? Yes? Oh, to keep man on the right path. Right. To man on the right path. Rest are all illustrations. To keep man on the right path. To make you a good human being. Since running short of time, I will just speed up now. To make you a good human being. That's the whole purpose of religion. To make you a good human being. Does any religion make you a bad human being? Does any religion teach you to be a bad human being? Does any religion ask you to be a bad human being? No, the whole purpose of religion is to mold you, to help you to become good human beings and more responsible citizens. These are the two things why Indian secularism is very important. Because Indian secularism is one, unlike all other secularist countries in the world, which gives you a fundamental right to preach, profess, practice, and propagate. Not many countries in the world gives you this right to propagate. But this country gives you a right to believe, to practice, and to propagate. To be on the, to make a quibble, actually we do first and last. Not the middle. We preach and we propagate, but we don't propagate what we practice. But Constitution actually asks us, you believe, you practice it, and then you propagate what you practice. This is what is actually the fundamental right envisaged in the Constitution. This is actually the whole purpose of it. Profess, practice, and propagate. Therefore, Indian secularism, that's why I want to lay a little stress on this core constitutional value of secularism. Indian secularism, the constitutional concept of secularism or constitutional value of secularism, acknowledges the role the religion can play in making a person a better person and a citizen a more responsible citizen. Right? Making a person a better person and a citizen a more responsible citizen. These two roles the religions play or should play or the Constitution expects them to play. Whether they do it or not, any religion, I honestly feel that religions are in a stage of audit of credibility. The credibility, like all constitutional institutions, is actually the credibility factor is being shaken because what is professed is not practiced. Well, so therefore Indian secularism is very important because that's why India gave birth to which all religions? What all religions? Despite India being a very conservative Hindu country, where 80% were Hindus, India gave birth to the world non-religions, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism of the late. And it welcomed Christianity, Islam, Zoroastrians. Yes. It welcomed because India believes that let light come from whatever source. Because all these religions speak and stand of good things. They all help people to become good people, rather better people and better citizens. Therefore, the country will be at peace and will be in the path of progress. This is the dream of the country by making secularism one of the core constitutional values. So liberty that is given is only this. But liberty, again, it comes to passion and vigilance. We are all concerned about our liberty, our right to liberty. But are we actually concerned about the right to same liberty of other person? Right? I'm sure this might have been taught to you. You have a right to wave your hand, but your right ends when it touches the knock of the nose of the next person standing on your side. You have a right to wave, but the moment it touches somebody else's nose, that's the limit. So that is why this exercise of this fundamental right is actually subject to which one? Repercussions. Internal restrictions, which are this? Public order, health, morality, and other parts of the Constitution. These are 4 restrictions. Public order, health, morality. That's why you speak about this constitutional morality, which has become subject matter of discussion, which judgment, which case? Constitutional morality. Come on, girls. Sabarimala. Right to entry when you are in your menstrual age. There is a restriction that you cannot be visiting the temple, Sabarimala. So that was challenged, saying that it violates the constitutional morality because it violates the right to equality, liberty, right to religion. One most important aspect you are not saying. I gave you two: equality, liberty. And the most important factor, dignity. It affects your dignity as a person. You don't become less dignified merely because you are in menstrual age or you are in menstruation. I'm saying, I'm not judge, I'm not making this statement, but this is the argument. That's his constitution. Constitutional morality actually is in these three aspects: liberty, equality, and dignity. These are the three aspects of constitutional morality. So liberty of thought, expression, faith, belief, and worship are actually subject to public order, health, morality, and other parts of the part 3, fundamental rights. Exercise of those rights. And here comes to the right to speech and expression. All those things come here. Then comes equality. Equality of status and opportunity. All are equal before law and all are entitled to equal protection of law. Here comes the credibility of the judicial institutions. Do the common man think that the people in the country get equal protection of laws? Yeah, does the common man think? Equal protection of laws? No, why? You can ask these questions and discuss about it. Well, equality of status and opportunity, because your right to equality is founded on the basic principle that you are a citizen of this country and you are a person in the country. I told you two fundamental rights: no, right to life and liberty, and right to equality are available to non-citizens if they are in the country also. Therefore, your right to equality does not depend on your status or your position or possession. It is on the only factor that you are a citizen. You are a child of this. You are the daughter or son of this country. That makes you equal. Equal to the President of India, Prime Minister of India. See, it does not depend whether if somebody is in Z security or Y security. That's all different concepts. But in terms of equality before law, but unfortunately, I want you young friends, I want you to think about this. Do we in our life discriminate people? Of having studied law for 5 years, particularly in this Christ Academy, please take away from your mind, please take away from your conscience, please take away from your deliberations discriminating factors on the basis of language or caste or religion or position or possession. The equality, the right to equality of a person like me should never depend on his looks or her looks or his or her position or possession, language or community. But unfortunately, in this country, things are going beyond our hands now, and everywhere you will see divisive tendencies. Everywhere you will see divisive approaches also. Please, you people at least, please think about this. Having studied law on equality, on dignity, please make a real conscience formed on the Constitution. Not a constitution, not a conscience formed on your personal biased philosophy or your communalist approach or your casteist approach or your religion's approach, where so many discriminating factors people tend to introduce in society. I spoke about dignity. Let me just think, put one word about that dignity also. What is the relationship between dignity and the use of drugs? Drugs and dignity. Any young man, man includes woman, you study this General Clauses Act, yes. Drugs and dignity. Does the use of drugs affect your dignity? Let me put you a blunt question. Does it affect your dignity? You are so silent. So how does it affect? What is the effect of use of drugs? Don't test if you are not tested. But I'm asking a theoretical question. Do you lose your identity? Does it affect your psyche? Does it affect your normal thinking? Does it affect your personality? Then why do you not answer this? Sum total of all this is dignity. It affects your dignity. Please never ever indulge in this psychotropic substances because it affects your personality, it affects your dignity, it affects your normal psyche. So you become not the normal person. I don't become Kurian. I'm no more Kurian the moment I have taken drugs. This is some other Kurian. People will say, oh, this is not the normal Kurian Joseph sir which you have seen. There's something wrong with him. Do you want to be seen something wrong with you? Everything should be right with you, not something wrong with you. Drugs affects your dignity. Never ever test. Never ever be a user. I don't want to say addictive, because you become a different person. This is where the dignity portion comes. Your dignity is spoiled. To use a simple, straight expression, your dignity is spoiled. Your integrity of the body, mind, spirit is lost. Integrity of body, mind, spirit are lost or is lost the moment you use drugs. That spoils your dignity. The moment the integrity of body, mind and spirit is affected, your dignity is spoiled. Never do that. So let me come back to equality, states and opportunity. And the most important part, the winding up part, which I wanted to say. Then what does the preamble say? We have seen constituted India, secure to citizens, liberty, equality, and justice, equality, liberty, and which is the fourth one? And fraternity. And what sort of fraternity? How is fraternity described in the Constitution preamble? I said constituting, I said securing. Third one, a beautiful word used only in the Indian Constitution. Assuring the dignity of the individual. Assuring the dignity of the individual. Nobody else is assuring the dignity of the individual. Even the unity and integrity of India comes thereafter only. Assuring the dignity of the individual. So this individual's dignity is assured by the Constitution. That's how this Constitution becomes so valuable to me. My dignity is secured and assured in this Constitution. By whom? By us. this is where the Shraddha comes, the vigilance comes. I am the one who is responsible for the dignity of my brother or sister. Not my own only. That's also. If you think about these aspects, you have a lot of sense of being an Indian. This Indianness is what we lack now. Being a citizen of India, it carries with you a lot of responsibilities as well. And the first responsibility, what is that first fundamental duty? If you speak about constitutional values, I should never leave this fundamental duty aspect. First fundamental duty. To abide by the Constitution. To abide by the Constitution. So, let us respect, let us follow, let us be constitutional in our approaches. Being mindful of our own rights and be the guardians of others' rights. Mindful of mine and being guardians of others. So that is where you become lawyers. Stand up and speak out for others. Standing up and speaking out. Nobody else has this right. A doctor has a right to touch the body of a person. But the lawyer has a person to stand for the life of a person. Speak and speak. Stand up for the life of the person. He saves the life. We stand up for his or her life. So, to abide by the Constitution, rule of law, we call it rule of law, which is also a basic structure. Rule of law. Follow rules. Take always pride in following law. This is one of the very valuable value I wanted you to tell young friends. Always be law-abiding citizens. Never ever take pride in breaking law, be it a traffic, be it the speed, be it anything. Use of drugs is a breaking of law. So always be law-abiding citizens. Never break law. Never take pride in breaking law. Never support a person who breaks law. Be always standing for those people who follow law by following law. The greatest inspiration as lawyers you can give, that you should be seen as the people who follow law. Ours is the only profession where there is a constitutional definition of an advocate as a advocate is defined as a only profession. Gentleman. Gentleman. Not a doctor, not an engineer, not a chartered accountant, not a businessman, not a politician, not religious heads. We are under the Bar Council of India regulations. Our definition, advocate is a gentleman. But it also says, therefore, what is ordinarily permissible for a non-lawman will still be not permissible for a lawman, because you know law. You know the value of law. Be law-abiding. All the best. God bless you. This is the text I can send you later. I may have digressed from a lot of the text part, but I just want to communicate with you on this. So I think there is some time left for the Q&A. Yes. I always tell Father Davis also, if at all I come with the youngsters, they should get an opportunity to ask. Because I have spoken so far what I wanted to speak. I'm not sure whether I wanted to speak, but it came like that. But you have a right to know what you want to know, and this is your time.
Thank you very much, sir. We will declare the House open for a question and answer session in a matter of 2 to 3 minutes. But in line with what you said, I stand here as a proud student of an institute that literally thrives on constitutional values, values that are the core, the essence, and the very crux of law and justice. And sir, respectfully, it is on the same premise of the freedom of thought that this institution has offered me that I pose a humble question to you. Because this is probably the only time that I'm going to be in such proximity with the Supreme Court Justice, so I'm going to take my chances. Sir, to what extent can judicial review be justified as a democratic safeguard against the legislative excesses and the inefficiencies?
Do you understand the question? To what extent judicial review is permissible so far as legislative excesses and inadequacies, right? Inadequacies, yes. So it has a connection with, you don't mind my sitting and speaking, no? No problem. So far you are sitting, so let me also say this, my right to equality. So what is the purpose of legislature? To make law. Well, can the judiciary compel the state to make law? It cannot issue a direction because each one is complete in its own sphere. Legislature, executive, judiciary. So we have a balance, check and balance. The judiciary cannot issue a direction that there is a vacuum, you make law. But judiciary can always point out that there is a vacuum. But the judiciary may not wait till the vacuum is filled up by the state because law making is a very tedious and a time-making process. Therefore, sometimes the judiciary itself directly comes and makes that laws, issues some guidelines, directives, filling up that vacuum. And that's called judicial activism. Can you point out to one such law made by the judiciary? Girls, Vichara. It continued for 14 years for the parliament to bring out a law in lines of those directives. What else? Vichara is one. Puttasamy, Puttasamy. Which one? Euthanasia. I said, because not that. What is the other word for euthanasia? Mercy killing, there's another one. Which should be an active discussion these days. Living will. That's a matter of great discussion. Whether a person has a right to write his own will as to his own closure. Yes. Living will. So that is one inaction. Then the legislative action, how can it be reviewed? Triple talaq is the judgment. You must read. Particularly the majority judgment. The majority judgment is mine. And it was actually supported by Justice Udayalalithan Nariman. So three of us have the majority in triple talaq. In that, we have overruled a position that judiciary or judicial review can be extended to looking into the reasonableness of the legislative process. Therefore, a legislation, whether it is reasonable, not only constitutional, reasonable also can be looked into, or the arbitrariness part of, better the expression will be arbitrary. The arbitrariness part in legislation can be looked into by judiciary in exercise of its judicial review. That's in triple talaq. You read Nariman's statement on that. I have concurred with it. It was a judgment Justice Nariman wrote for himself and for Justice Uday, and I agree with that principle. And I forget about I, but triple talaq was held unconstitutional by 3 of us. So therefore, the judicial review is permissible to that extent.
Right, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for such clarity on the topic. Now, believe me when I say this is an opportunity which will not come your way again and again. So you have the chance to interact with greatness itself. With this, let us open the house for a brief question-answer session.
No, but I was just quoting a biblical sentence, The Bible has given a promise. The one who says, if you give a glass of water, not a cup of tea or coffee, you will get rewards. So that's what I was just telling.
So you can raise your hands and ask your questions.
Would you like to give the mic, because the auditorium
Yes,
is
sir.
so
We'll be
huge.
passing the mic to you.
Yeah, there's a hand up. You can give the mic there. Do one thing, please come fast. I'll tell you the best thing. Those who want to ask questions, you get an opportunity to sit in the vacant chairs in the first row. Beautiful chairs will never ever get a chance. All those who want to ask questions, come and sit in the first row. The white sofas. Sofa being in the red, you will become white now. All those who want to ask questions, come and. Only 5 more seats left, 3 more. Please occupy. This is not music chair, chair without music. Either side, no problem. Yeah, this side is full now. Closed. Door is closed. There's one more chair left there. You can sit there, no problem. Yeah, all right. That's closed now. So these questions will be limited only to those people who have occupied the front chairs. Right. So we can start from the incoming person. Yeah, before you forget. Yes.
Hello, sir. Greetings. Sir, do you think that same-sex marriages should be legalized in India, or India is open for same-sex marriages? What is your comment on that?
Same-sex marriages should be legalized. What is marriage? All right, those who clapped, please answer what is marriage. Anybody who has the guts to answer my question, what is marriage? Give the mic, let me see. Let me test one man and one woman, yes.
Sir, Namaskara, sir. Marriage is the union of soul. Union of soul.
Souls?
Yes.
Right. No.
And, sir.
No. They may laugh, but you are absolutely right.
Thank you, sir.
It's not union of bodies. I agree with you, 100%, yes.
It has got different interpretations as such. I might say it is rather a sacred union of 2 people, and it can be also said as a contract in some ways. And moreover, as he said,
It is a sacred union of two souls.
Sacred union of two souls.
Yes.
Are souls sacred?
Yes, Your Lordship.
So it must be union of two souls, no? Because souls are otherwise sacred. Huh? Marriage is essentially a union between man and woman. Right? That is the basic understanding of marriage. The other is an association, is a friendship, is a fellowship, is a union, whatever union you call it. But the moment you say marriage becomes it's a union of man and woman. These are all the effects: soul, mind, body, heart, sacred, forever, contract. All its nuances. But essentially, marriage is union of man and woman. Rest are all called differently. Therefore, there's nothing called same-sex marriage. There may be same-sex association or friendship or fellowship or union, whatever name you want to call. But don't call it a marriage. Right, yeah. Yeah, but it's not your problem. It's actually the word wrongly used by people. You only quoted people's concept. It's not your concept. I have no qualms with you. Yes.
Good morning, sir. Greetings. My question before you is that when we read the speech of Winston Churchill or different thinkers, there is often a significant opinion on, regarding the political ideologies that democracy is considered as the worst form of government. So if such a statement is raised to you by an opponent or a learned person, how would you substantiate the argument? Would you go with the opinion that democracy is a worst form of government, or a better, or maybe a good form, or maybe not even considerable? What would the take on that?
You are quoting Winston Churchill and asking me that is the worst form of government. What's my take on it?
Yeah. Since the lecture was on constitutional values in the contemporary society, often when we debate on contemporary politics and contemporary society and aspects on the constitutional values.
So what is democracy and what is not democracy? I told you what is democracy. What is not democracy?
We cannot bring that into a construed analogy or a political, I don't know. Sorry.
No, you think about some non-democratic countries around you.
Monarchy, China,
Monarchy?
yeah. Okay.
Then?
Dictatorships, Saudi Arabia, China.
Dictatorships?
Yes.
Yeah. So what is democracy as a government? Democracy as a government is a system of governance of a country by the people, for the people, and it's a government of the people. So democracy is not the worst form of government. I don't agree with Churchill. Democracy is the most effective and pragmatic way of governance of a country with the people's participation. Whereas, so therefore, a new discussion is coming on now. So if I send you, do I have a right to recall you? I send you with a lot of expectations. But if I fail in my expectations, can I recall you? That's what is called referendum. Yeah. So democracy is one of the best forms of government, because you will understand the value of democracy when you look at your neighboring countries which are non-democratic and where people do not have a free air to breathe. That's the greatest gift of democracy. I told you two words I spoke about democracy. One is space, voice. This is not there in other countries, the other systems of government. In democracy, it is there. We may not be freely enjoying it now. That's a different problem. That is actually a problem with regard to the functioning of it. But actually, democracy, in essence, gives you these two, which is not available in other forms of government.
Thank you, sir.
like laws for each and every offense. But regarding me, in my point of view, that each and every 27 minutes there is a constant brutal rape and killing in our country. So the Abu Dhabi, who has the zero rape case in their country, they are saying like this. But even though we have lots and lots of resources and best judicial review, everything. So what's your opinion regarding this to stop? Even personally, as a judicial woman, even I afraid to go alone in the streets. So in this vast India, freedom India, even after 76 independence, we are still afraid of that. So what's your opinion as a judge of Supreme Court? So it's my privilege to ask this question to you. So what shall we do regarding this? Thank you.
You studied up to class 12 in the mixed school?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Go ahead.
College, right. What was the assembly pledge you took?
National pledge.
What was the pledge?
People of
India is my country.
Yes, all Indians are my brothers and sisters.
You ask your brothers, do they recognize you as your sister at 11 o'clock when you write on the street? They see you as a bite, right? As a consumer product. In the assembly they say you are my sister. But you walk alone at maybe at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock or 11 o'clock, they see you as a product. So actually no law can change this issue. What we need to change is actually the mindset of the society towards the dignity of women. We the men have never ever recognized that they are human beings. We always think that they are for men, the consumable product of men. That psyche has to be changed. That woman, actually what is rape? Rape is actually an overpowering this is what is rape. Rape is not actually the physical act of a sexual abuse. But this is because I am a man, I am powerful, so I am overpowering that less or rather weak person. It's actually an attack on the person, the dignity. The violation of the dignity of woman is rape. This is what we need to understand. Why do we violate? Because we don't recognize that they have same dignity as men. The moment Indian men recognize, Indian society recognizes, Indian political groups recognize, Indian constitutional institutions recognize and practice that women have the same dignity as men, this will change. Until then, no law. After this Nirbhaya, we had a capital punishment for rape and murder. Very rigorous punishments. Did it change? On the day the accused, 4 people were cut. On the same day in Haryana, there was a more brutal rape and murder. So it is not because of punishment. It's actually the concept that people should have in treating women in the country. That alone will change. So therefore, always tell, India is my country, you are my brother, I am your sister. Please keep in mind. Always tell them. And these men should change this attitude. The right to dignity and equality of women in the country, in the society, at home, everywhere. This alone will percolate and should percolate in the society so that there is a change in the attitude of and approach of men towards women in the country. That alone will change. No punishment. It's not because of lack of punishment. Lack of punishment, somebody will keep it for a while. Indian people don't bother.
Very good morning, sir. First of all, thank you for explaining very well how Indian Constitution aims at making citizens more responsible. And you have also emphasized how it is at the verge of audit of credibility right now. So I might like to ask you, on what stage are we, being this vigilant, passionate and credible law pursuiters? So, how far we are in our actual pursuit of ensuring that our citizens are responsible enough with respect to secularism in this contemporary society where we are witnessing many situations related to this. Thank you.
A nip in the butt. It's an expression in English, no? Nip in the butt. That means the moment things go wrong, nip itself, there itself. A stitch in time saves 9 years. So therefore, whenever you see things going wrong by discriminating people on the basis of religion, and whenever you see people exercising a sort of superiority on the basis of religion, whenever you see divisions on the basis of religion, please, as lawyers and young men, speak out and tell the whole public that please don't quarrel on the basis of religion. There is something called superiority of any religion. Religion is actually something to be on the spiritual world. It is meant to make man love each other and make the presence of God in others, Tattvamasi and Aham Brahmasmi. Yes, 2 principles. God in me, Tattvamasi. The same God is in you, Tattvamasi, in you also. So this is actually, so religion is something to deal with the souls, the spirit. Making the spirit to realize that you are not for this world only. You have a spirit which is immortal, right? And for that immortal soul, this body is to protect. If this body is to protect, this body should be clean. Clean means, it should be holy. And that holiness is in respecting the rights of others and protecting the rights of others. It is this view, youngsters, we should practice in our society, in our neighborhood, in our college, in our homes, in our courts, wherever. Please tell people, don't create divisions on the basis of religion, because religion is not the number. Religion is actually the spirit. That's one way of safeguarding secularism. So whenever these signs see, condemn them and protest against them, saying that please don't call on the basis of religion. Nobody can overpower, or nobody can humiliate, or nobody can in a way foo-foo or deny the space. This all you people should speak about, irrespective of my religion or your